I'm not an athlete. I'm a polygraph examiner. I always think that there's somebody who's going to try and cheat, and if they're going to try to, I'm going to catch them.
We're involved with a sport where clearly there is an advantage to taking banned substances.
What really drives a competitor to cheat at pressure is fear, because they're scared of not really being good enough.
What? They don't trust us, they don't believe us.
There's always a chance that a polygraph is unfairly failing somebody.
Maybe I should say this, maybe I shouldn't. Is this going to be a factor? Maybe it's not.
There's ways of faking it.
I'm a forensic psychophysiologist. Psycho meaning mind, physiology meaning body. I study how does your mind affect your body. I'm an independent seeker of the truth. Your lie will affect you. Your lie will affect those you love. You can't run from the truth. I'm Ken Donaldson, the lie detective.
We got a few things we have to do for the show and stuff, eh?
It looks like we do.
Yeah, there's a few things that, for example, like the banners probably will end up going up over there, those 3 banners that we have, eh? Yeah. I started this organization back 2 years ago with a deep passion towards really improving the sport and promoting drug-free bodybuilding as much as possible. I have competed in other natural shows, and they were not drug tested, okay? And that's what I felt, is I felt it was kind of a really hit to a natural show, saying that, you know what, you're putting on a natural bodybuilding show, but you're not actually drug testing all the athletes. So we were actually provide something to the athletes, saying that, you know what, this organization is a drug test organization, and we do stick to our standards and test all of our athletes by polygraph.
It's their first show where they've had a polygraph examiner testing, and they're hoping that it's going to keep people who are trying to cheat the system out of this competition.
That sounds great. Not all competitions do that.
We want to ask these athletes, have they taken anabolic steroids, growth hormones, diuretics, or insulin in the past 7 years?
Okay. And that's all on the sheet? I can just go over that with them when I check them in? You can go over
that with them. There's also for the INBF, they have a policy that they don't want their athletes to be taking ephedrine prior to their contest. So for this contest, the parameters will be, have they taken ephedrine in the past 3 months?
Welcome to the INBF Canadian Natural Bodybuilding and Figure Classic, the first annual. We're very excited to have you guys here for the show, as we are all drug-tested, natural athletes ready to get on stage and show off our natural physiques. We like to take it further and really find out for sure these athletes are totally clean and set basically a standard in natural bodybuilding and figure to make sure that everybody who comes to our organization and competes knows that they're competing in a 100% drug-free environment. And doing a polygraph test really ensures that all these athletes are totally 100% clean.
There was a study done about 5 years ago that had 10,000 people polled and said, if you guys were to get famous, win an Olympic gold medal, and take steroids, and die in 10 years, would you still take the steroids? 85% said yes.
Now, anybody who has not taken their polygraph test, there is a room available. Ken Donaldson will test you at that room.
This is my 4th big bodybuilding show I've done, testing athletes for steroid or substance abuse. I always think that there's somebody who's going to try and cheat and better themselves in these competitions, and that's why I'm here. I'm hoping that they're not going to, but if they're going to try to, I'm going to catch them.
Yeah. You'll go to get your numbers, go over to the end, go back to get weighed, and that'll be it.
There's a few other federations that say they're natural, but they don't do polygraph.
164?
And they only have to be 10 months natural. So you could take whatever you want, but as long as you're clean for 10 months, then you're natural. And that's not natural because they still get gains from taking it 5 or 10 years all in a row, right? So polygraph is what really gets rid of that, because you have to be clean for 7 years.
Rachel, we can just come and sit right over here. First ones we have are through the INBF, relating to their bad substance list, okay? for you.
Now with the polygraph test, I can go back for years and years, even to a person's childhood, to find out if they're being honest with me. Whereas the urine test is only going to test that particular athlete for a short period of time. We have to design a test that's going to eliminate anybody from cheating, but we have to make sure that the athletes know exactly what we're going to ask them and exactly what they're being asked to adhere to.
Yes. I very much agree. It's very important for that to know, because what's going to happen is I've already given them sheets as far as our drug test. They're aware of what they cannot take for this test. No drugs will be allowed as far as anabolic steroids, insulin, diuretics, growth hormone, muscle implants of any kind.
This is the detailed list of all the banned substances that we're polygraph testing for today, okay? Yep. Are you aware of the list?
I'm aware of the list, yes.
Good. You've read that? Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really understand a lot of the substances there because they're big words, and you know, I don't think I've done them, but
Welcome to the INBFA National Bodybuilding Classic, guys. Thank you so much for coming down.
I do it twice.
The only way that we were allowed to actually host this show is if we guaranteed that we'd actually polygraph every athlete coming in for banned substances, including steroids, albuterol, a bunch of other stuff. And that sets a new platform as to how bodybuilding will be perceived, hopefully from now on.
When I compete against someone who is taking a drug of some sort, and you know they're on a drug, you know, you get the sense of, you know what, I competed and the guy out beside me who got first place was doing drugs and I didn't get first because of that.
Matt and Iram told me that they were going to test all the winners from their bodybuilding show, and they were going to send in a urine sample to a lab to just confirm that these people weren't taking these substances that were banned. And when they take a urine test, I believe it's up to a week until they know those results.
Good morning.
Hi, you must be Marty.
I am.
Marty, I'm Ken Donaldson. Nice to meet you. Now with the polygraph test, I can have the results for the Bodybuilding Federation within hours. An athlete who is conditioned.
the last show I did was just urinalysis test, and it was just selected people who got urinalysis tested. So this would be the first polygraph for myself.
All right, Dennis, this test is about to begin. I'm just going to ask that you remain as still as you can and answer me simply with a yes or a no, please.
I'm obviously afraid a little bit of failing, but I'm going to tell the truth, and you know what I mean? It's not foolproof, right?
Do you intend to lie to any of the questions on this test?
No.
Do you understand what substances the INBF considers banned?
For the most part, yes.
Have you taken any ephedrine in the last 3 months?
No.
How long after the test will I know that I passed that part of it?
I'll let you know.
Okay. As long as I passed, it's going to justify it in my mind that this is a legitimate thing for the sport.
We're turning to your right.
Nice.
Front double biceps.
Yeah, spread it out.
Well, I've never taken a polygraph test. It's sort of an unknown experience that I'm not familiar with, and it gives me maybe a little bit of a nervous feeling.
You must be Mark?
Yes.
Hi, Mark. I'm Ken Donaldson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. I'm just going to ask you to come in and grab a chair on the other side of the table there for me.
Okay.
I'm just going to ask you a few questions. I'll sort of give you a brief outline of what's going to happen here. Okay? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. There'll be 10 questions in the series. I'm going to ask them at least 2 times. I'm going to hook your body up to this apparatus that you see on the table. These 2 things are going to go around your body, one around your stomach and one around your chest. I'm going to monitor your breathing. I'm also going to put 2 little pads on your fingers to monitor your galvanic skin response or perspiration. blood pressure cuff on your arm, monitor your pulse rate as well as your blood volume.
It's maybe a little intimidating in a certain way. There's a number of cameras pointing at you from various angles. So it's very kind of laboratory, experimental.
Did you read the list of banned substances on the INBF website?
Yes.
Just try and stare at the blank wall if you don't mind, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what substances the INBF considers banned?
Yes.
Have you lied to me in any way since we've been talking?
No. I felt like I was in court or something. You know, it was sort of that type of a feeling.
You know what? I am nervous only because I've never done one before, and I guess anytime you do something where you're kind of, if you feel like you're going to be grilled or something, then I don't know. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm not nervous that I'm going to fail, but it's just nervous because it's something new.
Have you eaten any breakfast today?
That's a good. I don't eat breakfast. I eat meals. Yes, I've had food today.
There's some things on the charts that you can see where she knows that it's. I can't see exactly what it is, but I know that it really bothered her. It almost makes me think that I may want to look for outside things that she's worried about.
We've really got something here that, first of all, no other federation has right now, but also something that's going to allow our athletes to actually be able to prove to the world that there is natural bodybuilders out there and they can look fantastic.
A drug body, the muscle's bigger, rounder, it's puffier. If you put two people together, one on drugs, one who's not on drugs, you'll automatically see a difference in the muscle itself. So the fullness is bigger, and the illusion is bigger as well.
We actually do polygraph and urine testing, okay? It ensures that each person gets a chance to be tested equally and fairly, and to ensure that they're not haven't taken any drugs in the past before competing in this organization and doing the show.
I think the polygraph and there being a polygraph exam for this competition served two purposes. The first one was to let the athletes know that this is a level playing field for everybody. It's also to let the people know who are going to try and cheat this system that there is no way in.
I did the Northern Albertas in 2004, and then the Alberta Provincial Championships in 2005, and then I did the Canadian Nationals in 2007, and none of those were tested shows. This is the first actual tested show.
Did you read the list of banned substances on the INBF website?
Yes.
Do you understand what substances the INBF considers banned?
Yes.
Have you taken anabolic steroids, growth hormone, diuretics, or insulin in the last 7 years?
No. We go to supplement stores, we see things on the shelves, we hope that it's that everything is legit and that there's nothing in there that's snuck in.
When I was mentioning to people that I was doing the INBF, it was an all-natural show, that I had a polygraph, people would go, wow, you have a polygraph? They mean serious business.
Border turn to your right.
Carmel was late for her appointment and I was unable to test right away. Sometimes when people stand me up, that can be an indication of them trying to hide something from me.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have taken, which is not banned, a herbal diuretic that's
Okay.
dandelion root. Is
Yes.
that included when you say, have you taken diuretics?
No.
Because it's not banned.
Okay. No, and you know what?
It's definitely nerve-wracking knowing that it's your first time going through a polygraph exam.
Do you intend to lie to any of the questions on this test?
No.
Have you taken any ephedrine in the last 3 months?
No.
I'd like to believe that it's going to be 110% accurate, but I guess you just can't have that.
I finally got home from polygraphing all day. I got a chance to look at these charts. I've got them on my screen, and I've got a printout where I can get a real close look at them. Raise your arms. Put this one around your stomach. If you notice, when I hook up a person to the apparatus, I put 2 things around their body to monitor their breathing. So this top line will be their chest breathing. This line, these lines here are their stomach breathing. This next line is galvanic skin response, or how much a person is perspiring. And the bottom line is showing their pulse rate as well as their blood volume. Okay, here's a chart of a guy. His first name is Mark. And if you notice right away, his galvanic skin response, or this green line here, just jumps right up. It's a sure sign that he is a little bit nervous. Here's a competitor. Chris was her name. And here's something kind of interesting. I always ask the competitors, where were they born? She told me a name of a community when I was asking her that question in the pre-test interview as New Market or New something. I asked her that question on the test, and you can see she had a huge reaction to that question. It's a very simple question about her own background, and if she was being deceptive to me about that, I would wonder if there wasn't something else she was trying to hide. Have you lied to me in any way since we have been talking?
No.
Here's a competitor, Lale. His blood volume stays pretty steady. His galvanic skin response, slight rise here and dropping down. But if you look at this jump here on this question that isn't one of these relevant questions, tells you that he's got a little bit of energy, and he's worried that maybe he was being deceptive to me on this question and not these ones. Here's a chart of a guy by the name of Dennis, big heavyweight bodybuilder. Dennis was extremely nervous about taking this test and was afraid that it was going to show things that weren't there. Have you taken anabolic steroids, growth hormone, diuretics, or insulin in the last 7 years?
No.
Number 9, the front. Number 3.
We were here this weekend to ensure the integrity of this bodybuilding show. We wanted to make sure nobody here was taking performance-enhancing drugs, anabolic steroids, diuretics, or the like. And the chance that anybody got by me is none. I would say for Mark, he's more indicated of his lies and deceptions or truthfulness through his galvanic skin response and his breathing patterns. Mark was being absolutely honest with me.
First place is Chris Kwan.
Chris's mistake in telling me the community where she lives and the reaction she had lets me know that if she had been deceptive to any of the other questions on this, we would have picked it up right away. Now, the rest of her test came out fine. She was telling me the truth, and that just lets you know how much even things that seem insignificant can really bother a person. Dennis said that he was nervous, was afraid that these charts were going to show something that wasn't there, that he was lying when he wasn't. And if you look at Dennis's charts, he was steady throughout the whole test, letting me know that he had not been taking anabolic steroids, diuretics, or the like. Now here's Carmel. She had a huge reaction here to this question where I asked her, had she lied to me in any way since we had been talking? But over here, when I asked her the relevant questions about anabolic steroids or ephedrine use, she was being honest with me, which means she hadn't taken any of those performance-enhancing drugs at all, or ephedrine to help her cut weight in the 3-month period that we tested for.
The winner, Lael Sauter.
If anyone had any hope of winning and slipping by the polygraph, they know that they've got a urinalysis at the end of their road as well too, and you can't lie on that one.
Yeah, actually. Hi Matt, Ken here. Yeah, I was just wondering, Did you get your results back today? Yeah, and everything went fine? So urine fine, I'm telling you the polygraph was fine, that's excellent. And to back up my results, there was nobody caught cheating at this bodybuilding show. I wasn't nervous waiting for these results to come back. I had already used the polygraph instrument to test these people, and I knew beyond a reasonable doubt that they were not cheating.
We just want to call you there, Leo, and notify you of your results from your urine test there, eh? Okay. Charlie called us here a few minutes ago and notified us that you got a negative on your test, so you'll be good to go. Okay. Yeah. As I expected. Yes. You're now. What's that, Leo? That's very good. Excellent. Me and Aaron want to congratulate you as well for being the new WNBF Pro for men's overall.
Definitely, I thought that maybe there might be a chance that maybe somebody didn't know that they might be using something that might be illegal.
Now we've accomplished something that we dreamed of doing about 2 years ago, and now we've finished our first competition, and things have happened better than we expected. In fact, we visualized a dream.
No. Mom's got a snack for you, so maybe you can have a freezy later. I think you ate all the good ones anyway. Did ya?
Hello. Hey, kids. How are ya? Good. Hey. How was your day today? Yeah. Tell me about your spelling test.
Remember this morning we were laying down, we were talking about you were going to take your spelling test to school?
Yeah.
And you thought you might put it in your desk, and then you said what?
Madison took hers into school and she almost cheated, but then she gave it to the teacher. Because I was about to tell her.
Because what do we say about that?
No cheating allowed.
And why?
Because it's bad.
And what else? It's not.
It's not fair to everybody else.
And it's not your honest achievement. If you get ahead by cheating, it isn't very good, is it? Doesn't make you feel good about yourself.
I said to people that you're not allowed cheating, and Evan, he was cheating because every time he'd go like this on his desk, he'd go.
Did he have his paperwork inside his desk?
No, he'd go like this. The board has all the words over there, so he'd go.
Oh, he was
and
peeking
then
around
the other
at
side
it.
has the other words, so then you have to look straight.
So it's like.
So then he was peeking.
So it's like
there.
temptation.
Yeah.
You have to try and write the words here, but the words are right behind you. All you have to do is look.
Right across from you.
That's a tough one. That's some serious temptation. Did you peek?
Nope.
Even once?
I never peeked.
Oh,
no.
Olivia.
I tried to, but I didn't.
Olivia, did your nose just grow? Did you look at one word?